Alrighty, hello, welcome to the local marketing live stream. Here, there's a camera. Welcome to the local marketing live stream. My name is Luke Hawley, and every Tuesday at 2 p.m. I'll jump on and go live with you as we explore sales and marketing strategies tailored for local businesses, particularly those on the Sunshine Coast. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I don't know about you, but when it comes to sales, marketing, running a business, whether you're on the Sunshine Coast or anywhere, it feels more difficult than it used to be. A lot more challenging, a lot more confusing. It feels like it's just much easier now to just be overwhelmed by all the choice, all the noise, all the confusion, trying to determine, what's real, what's fake, what's legit, what's a fraud. And as business owners, we're dealing with a lot. We're dealing with the challenges with staff and getting the right staff to support our team. We're dealing with increasing costs, whether that's insurance, accounting, taxes, marketing, subscriptions, all sorts of services we need to deliver the business. And of course, we're struggling with, how do we implement AI? How do we implement these new tools into our business while staying true to our own identity and staying true to how we want to serve our customers and balancing all of that. So when I set out to put together this live stream, the priority for me was around creating clarity. How do I provide you with something that's helpful, that's specific, that allows you to take something pragmatic that you can apply in your business the next day. And the reason why I wanted to go live is so I can interact with you guys and have a conversation. So I'm going to just turn on the chat now. So I'd love for you guys, as you join the live stream, feel free to jump on, say hi and hello, let me know that you're here and you're with us. Also feel free to ask any questions as we progress through the live. And of course, I'll jump on throughout the week and keep an eye on any comments that come through and respond to those as they do. And as always, you can reach out to me via email, so info@buylocalsunshinecoast.com.au, and I can respond to those queries as well. So how these live streams will work each week is I'll introduce a marketing strategy or concept, then share some examples and what best in class looks like, and then provide a step-by-step walkthrough. And that might be using a worksheet, it might be a demo of a software or platform, or some other third-party resources to help to show you how to implement this idea in your business. And there'll be a variety of topics that I'm looking to explore each week. Next week, we'll jump into LinkedIn, but we'll look at stuff like meta ads. We'll look at email marketing strategies. We'll look at service design, creating content with AI. I'll even tap into my academic background and explore topics like consumer behavior concepts. Definitely go really deep in service design. Talk about enriching your understanding of your customer. So there's a lot that I'm itching to explore with you guys each week, and of course be guided by the questions that you have and the topics that you'll like us to explore as we build that out. So that's what to expect. Today's going to be a little bit different, naturally, as our first live stream. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to introduce myself, talk a little bit about Buy Local Sunshine Coast and some of the resources we have already on the website. And I actually want to share with you how you can win a $5,000 marketing package from the Sunshine Coast Council. So do stick around for that, because I think you're gonna be surprised how easy it is to apply in this competition and be part of a chance to win, $5,000 to support your business. So thank you, Dave, from the Nude Window. Hi, Luke. Appreciate it. So appreciate the wave. So thank you. And for anyone else that's on the chat, feel free to do the same. It does help to make sure I'm not just talking to myself here. So I do appreciate that. Alrighty. So as I said, I did want to introduce myself a little bit. So and the reason I actually think it's important to introduce myself is when it comes to marketing, it's one of the most underregulated industries out there. If you think about, if you're out there providing financial advice, the level of regulation that controls that advice. So you'll have, for the financial advisor in Australia, they're required to have a master's degree. They're part of an association. There's requirements of level of education and support they get year in and year out, the level of paperwork and administration to ensure that they're delivering the right advice. And financial advisors can be asking you to spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in investing in a variety of packages. But in marketing, where we're essentially doing the same thing for business owners, we're asking business owners to commit thousands, tens of thousands, $100,000 to a campaign, but without any of those expectations on delivery. So if a marketer gives you poor advice, steers you in the wrong direction, you can get caught out. And I've heard way too many just horror stories of business owners being caught out with bad marketing advice. So I think it's really important to have an appreciation, understanding of like where the advice is coming from. So for me, I'm qualified. So I have a first-class honors degree in marketing from the University of the Sunshine Coast. That alone actually puts me in the top 1% of those qualified in the marketing space. I'm also published in marketing journals. So I have 4 peer-reviewed journal articles that have anchored in research and shared across the board. Also, the last 10 years, I've been teaching marketing at the University of Sunshine Coast, taught a variety of courses, and then my background. So I did grow up on the Sunshine Coast, so I'm a genuine local to the Sunshine Coast. My family moved here when I was 5. So I did primary school, high school here, and university here. Then I joined Procter & Gamble, one of the world's largest consumer goods company. Started off as a state account manager here in Queensland. Actually started as a BDM, actually working with Coles and Woolworths at the store level with a team of merchandisers. Did that for a year, then moved into the state account management role, working with Metcash, which is the wholesaler for local independent grocery. And then also worked with local distributors that often sold batteries. So Duracell was one of the big brands I was working on back then. Then moved to Melbourne, spent 3.5 years in Melbourne as a national account manager, working with Coles, Kmart, and Target. The main brand that I worked on during that time was Olay, the female skincare brand. Now, I've said this a few times that I do still use Olay, but not everyone believes me. So I want to bring like product examples. So check this out. Well, it's heavy duty stuff, right? Luminous, here we go. So you want to kind of provide some proof on that. So that's the serum. This is the moisturizer. So often when people ask me, do I have any recommendations for skincare? Yep, but the answer is always Olay. So still, even though I haven't worked with the brand for over 10 years, still very much recommend it. Anyway, so did that national account management role, and then moved to Sydney and spent 2.5 years in the commercial operations role. And this was like a very like your typical middle management role. So reporting into our GM and leadership team for the country, as well as the leadership team for the brand based in Singapore for Olay. And then I also worked on Clear Blue, which is pregnancy inoculation testing, and they're based in Geneva. And really, like for me, this is like getting your MBA, right? Like this was great experience. I still argue that the best people I've ever worked with were those at Procter & Gamble. It was like surrounded by other me's, like, shared values, work hard, committed to the cause, go above and beyond, incredibly intelligent, very savvy, very creative, just impressive brand people, and like really surrounded by truly some of the best in the industry. So just an absolute gold mine for someone in their 20s to learn and work in the space of marketing. Also, I specialized in trade marketing or go-to-market, so how to leverage the assets of our retailers to bring a product to life. And it had, to work on multi-million-dollar campaigns across multiple retailers, and then in commercial ops, designing and rolling out those campaigns. The retail business that I was managing was about 120 million, over $30 million budget, and working with just an incredible cross-functional team to bring it to life. So incredible experience, but I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, a business owner. So I quit that back in 2015, went traveling for 9 months to figure out what I wanted to do next, but made my way back to the Sunshine Coast, and actually straight to the Sunshine Coast Uni. So as soon as I got back to the coast, I started at the uni. Actually started doing a PhD, which is pretty wild to think that I went down that path. Actually spent 18 months, got confirmed. And I was really interested in helping graduates get a fast start to their career by developing their soft skills. So I was really curious around engagement, particularly in teaching, immersive learning experiences, transformative well-being and what it means to deliver an experience that leads to transformation. So I found the topic really interesting, and I wanted to build a business around that. So how do I help other graduates get a fast start to their career? But for anyone who's played in the PhD space, it's not really an area where you want to go and explore how do you build a business. It's really an apprenticeship for research. So as I kind of got into it, I was like, this isn't really the right fit for me. I really want to jump in and start being the entrepreneur. So I left that and kicked off with a business called Udemy Group at the time. It was a group of freelancers, and it was actually my first foray into digital marketing. So it was a team of freelancers that specialized in a variety of different digital marketing services, and my role was to be the account manager, BDM. So kind of use that experience in selling, kind of bring the work in, and help coordinate the projects. So group of freelancers, they all moved on to different roles. I really liked the selling of marketing services. So I started Marketing Broker Australia, which was to sell marketing services on behalf of different agencies. It's kind of like a referral program. Good idea, but as it turns out, most businesses are not really looking for that service. A good lesson learned there. Still do your market research, even if you've got a good idea, and make sure you test and learn. But what I found actually doing Marketing Broker Australia was I got to actually speak to hundreds of business owners over that time. And what I'm doing now around the marketing clarity sessions was essentially what I was doing with the marketing broker consultations, sitting down, trying to understand what their objectives are, what they're trying to achieve, and being really kind of savvy and clever on how do we package and put things together in a way that they feel like they've got a plan based on their budget. So I was really good at selling marketing plans that cost you nothing, right? Or just a few dollars, but not great at, because of who I was talking to, selling, $5,000 a month packages for agencies. So Marketing Broker ended up kind of falling into more of a website business because I love working on websites. So we've been doing that now since 2019. And then kind of built from there. So I then started taking on Buy Local Sunshine Coast, an initiative kicked off by Claire Parkinson during COVID to let people know what local businesses were open during COVID, where to go to get COVID era offers and special deals. I came in early consulting just to help out. Then I got for them, they were hemorrhaging cash on their website. They were spending over $17,000 a year. I rebuilt the website, so it only cost $350 a year to manage, so big difference. And then, moved the investment into running Buy Local campaigns, which I've now obviously taken on the CEO role in managing those Buy Local campaigns. For those that know me, I also did, hey Luke, skin looks great, Olay, great, appreciate the shout out, that's great. Oil of Olay, kind of kicked off with Olive Milans, that's great, cries and old. So it is a very old skincare brand, but very innovative. So plenty to check out. It's great. I love the Olay comments. If that's the one objective I get from today is that people start taking on Olay, it's a win. From there, with also I took on the business magazine for a little while. But I wanted for this year, kicking off 2026, to simplify things. So one thing. And bringing it back down to Buy Local, which I really enjoy working through, building out those Buy Local campaigns, and really focusing on this idea of creating clarity. So it's been fun, a bit of a transition, but it's been great, and now kind of kick off with these live streams, which is awesome. So what I also wanted to share today as well is kind of just give you a bit of an overview of Buy Local Sunshine Coast and some of the resources that we have. So I'm just going to share my screen. Cool. Let's jump into here. Let me jump to this page. Alrighty, cool. Great. So you can see the screen now. So there's a couple of features I just wanted to share that you may not be aware of. For those of you who maybe you have a free listing or you've been following Buy Local Sunshine Coast for a while, there's actually a ton of great resources to check out. So the first I wanted to point to, which is, I get a lot of feedback on this one. So we've got the Sunshine Coast Gig Guide. This comes from the team from Locals in the Loop. So if you're looking for what to do on the weekend, jump on, check out the Gig Guide. And we also have the Networking Guide, which is something we've been running now for 6 months, where you have quite a detailed calendar. So there's about, I think, over 50 events now that are part of our networking guide. And we do obviously the Monday newsletter shouting that out. It's a really great way to stay connected with what's happening on the Sunshine Coast for local events. And if you click this button here, you'll actually get a full list of the different business groups, local chambers, industry groups on the coast. As you can see here, there's over 63. And I'm a big believer that every business owner should find a tribe. Right? I think it's really important to be surrounded by your peers and those that are advocates and acolytes for yours to help you kind of get through the day and help support your business. So there's some incredible groups on the coast. So jump on and check those out. As many of you know and know me from the local networking nights, previously called LinkedIn Local, all those content is actually available on the website. So obviously we have the most recent here, but if you jump to networking and then local networking nights, you can actually jump in and get all of our previous recordings. All right, so catch up on past events, jump into the articles, and you'll see there's some honestly fantastic content for business owners. To help improve, all sorts of things. So you jump on, you get the summary article, you've got the full video towards the end in the slides as well. So I do recommend checking that out. I'll be doing the same for these marketing live streams. So turning it into a summary article, the video will be accessible from the site as well. And any resources that's included will be added as well. So it'll look very similar to that. Cool, let's go back here. There are a few services, which I'll touch on a little bit later, that we've introduced for Buy Local, anchored around websites. So we've been doing those since 2019. I've got some new services we've launched around social media, getting started with AI, and the marketing clarity sessions, which I'll share in a bit more detail shortly. The other thing is the business toolkit, right? I do recommend taking some time to view these links. So Grant Guru normally costs like $70 a month to get access to Grant Guru. But the Sunshine Coast Council and the Noosa Council have collaborated so you can get access to this for free, right? So you've got this portal where you can jump on and search for grants. And look at this, right? 11,000 grants, 108 billion. There's so much because it's not just government grants, it's also private business. So please do take the time, jump on, type in your business type and just explore some of the grants that are available. And as you can see, there's a ton of resources to help you with the application of those grants, but really, really cool. The Sunshine Coast Council with the Level Up has a bunch of really helpful resources for businesses as well. You've also got the Business Boost program from the Noosa Council for those based in Noosa. And this is a great way to get coaching and training support paid for by the council. So if you're based in Noosa, I recommend applying for Business Boost, and you can get business coaching, marketing advice, AI advice, all sorts of stuff through the Business Boost program. So that's worth checking out. You've also got the digital expert support. This is a really cool program. This one allows you to, there's a pause. That's a shame. But the program itself is pretty cool. So you get $1,000 worth of marketing support for $100. Or maybe it's $200, but it's really, really cool. So it looks like that's been paused for a bit, but that's a really cool program. The resources from the Queensland Small Business Commissioner is quite helpful. If you have some clients that, something that a lot of people don't know about the Small Business Commissioner is that you can actually get help in unpaid invoices for big unpaid invoices. So if you need a little help, there's a bunch of resources in here, but if you just need a little help, wouldn't it be helpful if the government called that client that won't pay the big bill, right? To say, hey, there's this one go overdue here, but do check it out because there is a ton. There's all for Queenslanders. You're paying it in your taxes. We're definitely it feels like we're paying too much in taxes as business owners. So given these services are available, check it out, including this one here too, cybersecurity. So getting free cybersecurity advice and consultation, very, very helpful. Just to get that review on your business to make sure there's no serious vulnerabilities. So make sure you're jumping on and checking that out. But please do check it out. There's you can see here, they've got even more resources than I've got in the business toolkit, just a ton of great stuff. That's what I meant there. General disputes, the advisory mediation. So free service to help you dealing with unpaid. There's really nice wellbeing services too. So for business owners going through a stressful time and just need a little bit of support. You've got free mental health services. If you need a little bit of financial support as well, There's some programs in that too. If you've lost track of your Xero right account, or you're just dealing with a lot of debt, again, free as well. So there really is a lot of just great services and resources available for Queensland businesses that none of us are using. So make sure you jump on and checking it out. The other one, that I've already kind of shared, and there's also EcoBiz sustainability program as well. Definitely worth checking out, particularly if you're looking for procurement opportunities. So supplying the Olympic Games or local government, they are looking that you're certified as sustainable, and the Business Chamber, with partnership with EcoBiz, provides some programs for that. So some free, some at a cost, to help you get certified. There's another one, now that I think about it, that I should add to the toolkit. GovReady. I'm just going to search for it. GovReady. It's with Thomas here. This is the one here. I also recommend checking this out, GovReady. If you are interested in supplying the 2032 Olympic Games or local councils or local government, I do recommend jumping into GovReady, which is run by a Queenslander, obviously. It's written the book here, Winning Government Business. But he's got this really nice, where is it? Might be a link. Anyway, I do recommend just jumping on, checking this out. Pulse check, that's what I'm looking for, to kind of see what your readiness is for going after government contracts. But there is a ton of opportunity. I'm talking about billions and billions of dollars that the government wants to spend with local businesses. But here's the thing, they're actually struggling to get local businesses to apply for it, right? Yes, it's bureaucratic. Yes, there's a lot of steps required to get into the space where you can then effectively apply for these grants. And that's why Thomas and GovReady have created this program. So do check it out, fill out that quiz and start the steps to kind of get you there, because it's just untapped opportunity. And it's not just, you'd be surprised, they need copywriters, they need graphic designers, they need websites, they need things built, they need things cleaned. There's the staff members need haircuts. They need places like the cars clean. There's so many services that local government needs and state government needs that you could provide. So make sure you check that out. Cool. All right. And the other thing I wanted to show, resources. That's where you'll be able to catch up on the live streams from me. I do have some additional resources here as well, which I'll keep building out. Which is previously recorded webinars that you can check out, as well as some free marketing training programs that I also recommend to my students all the time as well, to help kind of offset their studies. So jump on and check it out. Cool. But the thing I did want to touch on as we close out, which is kind of the trigger for me to do these live streams, is around providing clarity for local businesses. And I have created a service around it, which is the Marketing Clarity Sessions for Sunshine Coast small businesses. So jump on and just check it out. It's where I can really provide tailored advice, where we focus in on, first, break it up into 3 parts in 20-minute blocks. The first 20 minutes is about understanding what you're doing now, so what your objectives are, who your target market is, what marketing you've tried before, what's working, not working. Then the second 20 minutes, we spend some time on your website, but really focusing on service design, how you're positioning yourself in the market, and what are the areas for refinement. And then the last 20 minutes is where I share a series of resources and support to help deliver the plan. And then the end of the session, because it's recorded, with the power of AI, help generate a highly personalized marketing plan with some tips around execution and supporting resources. So it's a really cool thing that we've built out to help support local businesses, understanding that almost all Sunshine Coast businesses, their monthly budget is less than $500. So I want to put something to the market that's very accessible, very affordable. You're not signing you up to some multi-week coaching program or anything like that. It's just you just book a call with me when you need to, and we jump in and get to work. So it's meant to be a very hands-on session helping you with stuff. So I've got the background here. The feedback so far has been great as we've been running these marketing clarity sessions now for 6 weeks. I love this session with Luke. Was the best money I've ever spent. So thank you, Ian. Really appreciate that. worth every minute. Like some really great feedback in the first bunch of sessions that we've done, as well as some of the marketing broker consultations I've done in the past. So really appreciate the positive feedback there. So jump on, book yourself a session, well worth it. Cool. So, and the link is in the for those on the live stream landing page, and I'll make sure I drop it into the comments for those who are visiting the live stream through Facebook and Insta. Cool. So I want to just spend the last little bit on questions from the group. So I'm seeing some coming through already beyond the Olay messages, which is cool. So what do we search when searching grants? Great question. Let me jump to Grant Guru here. I would start with just your business type, right? So maybe you're looking for marketing, could be a good place to start. Jump on and search. Just create the account through Google is fine. That's a shame. I was going to search. But anyway, just start with your, just like different things looking for marketing. It might be a women business owner, just kind of broad terms. Also, you can get, where is it? There is because it is free to register, right? When you register, you can actually give it, when you register the account, it will ask you for like some questions about your business in the areas of interest you might be in. And then it actually starts to send you weekly emails to let you know new grants that have come up that fits that criteria. So yeah, jump on, check it out, but reach out if you get stuck, but just explore kind of keywords basically. So your business type and different types of grants you might want to look into, like marketing, succession planning, coaching, that type of stuff. Luke supporting these clarity sessions, so helpful. I love that. Thank you, highly recommend. So thank you. I might chat it, just says Facebook user, so thank you, Facebook user. That's awesome. Cool. So as I did want to make sure that these live streams are about 30 minutes. So very kind of focused and targeted. So really appreciate you joining the first one. Obviously, always open to feedback and suggestions. So flick it through by email. Continue the chat in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you the same time next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.